And if I may, Mr Robinson, I would also like to give special thanks to Headway Wearside, who go above and beyond for people in my region in the North East, and especially for people in my constituency. And they've given me a lot of help over the years with constituent cases also. And as we've heard, ABI is a leading cause of death and disability in the UK. A brain injury can happen in an instant, at any age, at any stage of our lives, but its effect can be devastating and life-changing. ABI is a hidden epidemic affecting many hundreds of thousands of people and their lives in many ways. So because of this, as we've heard, people with ABIs face challenges that affect more than just one government department. And that is why I'm pleased to echo the calls of my honourable friend for the Rhondda and the APPG on acquired brain injuries to ask the Minister to work with her colleagues across government departments to ensure that people with brain injuries get the care and support that they need, whatever that may be. Now, as we've heard, every 90 seconds someone is admitted into hospital with an acquired brain injury. And thankfully, improvements in medical procedures and acute care have led to improved survival rates, and this is very welcome. But as we've heard from the honourable member, I think from Hemel Hempstead was making this point, this then brings its own challenges and places further pressure on already stressed, overstretched health and social care services. And early and continued access to specialist rehabilitation has been shown to optimise the chances of recovery and to be extremely cost-effective. However, there is an NHS workforce crisis and we need more neurorehabilitation health professionals such as physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech and language therapists and educational psychologists to deliver services. So what is the government's plan to attract prospective professionals to neurorehabilitation, and what is the government doing to retain the current workforce, especially when service provision is variable across the UK? And it is crucial that people with ABI get the support they need, because this is about the quality of their lives as well. So what considerations has the Minister made to the all-party group's recommendations to establish a national review into neuro-rehabilitation provision? And rehabilitation prescriptions are very important in continuing communication and care between individual services. So will the Minister ensure that they are mandated across the services? It's important that a patient and their family or carer know what care and support they need and what services they are currently accessing. Now, this includes school and educational professionals who may teach young children and young people with brain injuries. And best practice guidelines must be approved and followed for children and young people returning to education after an acquired brain injury, and then throughout the rest of their education also. And to pick up on a point that my honourable friend for the Rhondda made earlier, where the brain injury happened, say, before the child even attended school in the early years, under 5, then the school may never be aware of the link to an acquired brain injury and, you know, the link to their behaviour in class or their educational ability, or indeed their behaviour in society, leading to all the issues that my honourable friend mentioned with regard to youth offending and the need to screen prisoners. So those who have, say, slipped through the net, the whole net of their school years, can start to get the help and support that they need and deserve. Therefore, all educational professionals must have an awareness and an understanding of ABIs and the educational requirements for children and young people with the condition. So what conversations has the Minister had with her colleagues in the Department for Education about supporting children and young people with ABIs throughout their education, and also at the start of their education for those with preschool ABIs, perhaps from a fall or from meningitis, to ensure that this info is then captured and recorded somehow on the child's confidential record that would follow them through their school years in case issues begin to manifest many, many years later. So finally, what conversations has the Minister had with her colleagues in the Department for Work and Pensions about ensuring all benefit assessors are trained to understand the problems that affect individuals with ABI? And a few colleagues also mentioned this issue. And I'm not just talking medically here either, but also regarding how their behaviour or speech, as my honourable friend from the Rhondda mentioned, may be affected. And that may make them seem perhaps difficult to deal with. And this needs to be explained to assessors or otherwise individuals